you're playing, Messalonskee is not playing a 7th-ranked team.
Bob Cimbollek along with Willie Gavett bringing us this last one. And Willie, these teams seem remarkably similar in that they go very deep on both benches, no dominating individual players, and I would assume match up very well.
I think you'll have to go along with what Bob said. This is not a 2-7 matchup by any stretch of the imagination. At the beginning of the season, many of the coaches in Eastern Maine said the team to beat right now on paper appears to be Brewer, but at times that's not always the case. I think the similarities to a degree are true. The height that they have, the quickness in the way they like to play the game, and it's going to be a question, I think, of who gets out to the first start, maybe takes the other team out of their game plan that will determine who wins and who loses.
Both teams certainly glad to be here. It's been a while for Messalonskee, and Brewer was about 11th in the heel point standings just a week or so ago. Our Brewer-Messalonskee matchup coming in just a couple of moments.
Domino's Pizza makes it simple.
Mega deal.
Just call for any pizza, any size, any number of toppings, just $9.99. That's right, just $9.99. Call now for this mega money saving deal. And don't forget to try our buffalo wings. It's the best deal in town.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
At a time when your family is growing and your income seems to be shrinking, the price of some family sedans is getting out of reach. Introducing Chevy Lumina. With standard features like automatic, air conditioning, and power locks, you can feel comfortable in it. With dual airbags and front and rear crush zones, you can feel safe in it. And for over $2,000 less than Ford Taurus GL, you can actually afford it. The 1996 Lumina. It's a car your family can trust. Now get low 4.8% financing on Lumina at your local Chevrolet G dealer.
I'm Don Lowry. You know, some accident victims never talk to a lawyer. They say to themselves, I don't have the money. I'll settle up with the insurance company on my own. But remember this, the insurance company doesn't work for you. It's their job to pay out as little as possible. At Lowry & Associates, we don't get paid until you get paid. We're here to protect the people of Maine, and we work for you.
Lowry & Associates help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 1-800-999-LEGAL.
Welcome back to the Bangor Auditorium. The coaches now join me. Jim Kirchner, you're bringing Messalonskee in here. We were talking about how long a tournament drought it's been for the Eagles. What are the kids thinking going into this game? Are they just glad to be here, or is it more than that?
Well, I think it's we're glad to be here, first of all, but I think we've also had certain goals that we set at the beginning of the year, and getting here is one of them. Staying here for a while is another one, and really playing hard and seeing if we can get it done up here.
I had a chance to see you once this year. You look like you got a lot of weapons, a lot of different people to go to, much like Brewer. What do you think the matchup's going to be like?
I think it's going to be an excellent matchup for us. I think both teams are very athletic. Brewer's a little bigger than we are, but they're very quick also. So it's going to be an interesting ball game, I think.
Enjoy it tonight, Jim.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Jim Kirchner of the Messalonskee Eagles, and Brewer. Boy, Mark, it was 11th place the last couple of weeks ago, but you're coming in as one of the hottest teams around. I think 5 of the last 6 were wins. You can't be just glad to be here. You got to be feeling like you're pretty much peaking right now.
Well, we hope we are, Tim. We played very well at the end, I thought. You know, won some very big ball games, and we're hoping that carries over here.
What's different about this team from the beginning of the year right now?
Attitude, much more positive, much harder work ethic out on the floor, and much more consistency on the floor.
It's hard to really be happy as a coach, but are you happy with what you've been seeing lately?
Oh, tickled to death, and very happy to be here, but we plan on doing more than just getting here.
It's fun to be here again.
Oh, it is.
Mark
it's
Savage,
awesome.
Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Tim.
Mark Savage, Brewer High School coach. It's Brewer against Messalonskee. Let's go over to Willie and Bob.
Thank you, Timmy, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. The last ball game of the evening after a long 8-game set starting at 8 this morning. One thing we do know about this contest, and that will be that the winner of this one will go up against the Old Town Indians that defeated Gardner in one of the quarterfinal rounds earlier this afternoon. height-wise, I think what Coach Kirchner of Messalonskee referred to, their big man that they're going to have to go to, Bob, is going to be Bushman at 6'5". After that, people coming in off the bench, they don't really compare with the size that Brewer can throw at you.
Yeah, but Brewer doesn't use all their size, Willie. You're going to find that really Johnson at about 6'2" or 6'3" is the big man in that first group. King is always 6'5", plays outside. It's only when Brewer brings in their two big kids off the bench in that second group at 6'5", but they only play 2 to 3 minutes at a time. And so I think probably that'll neutralize itself a little bit.
Now, answer me this. A lot of, again, when you're out in the halls and you talk with coaches that come in, and there's always tourney talk, and they talk about teams that are playing. Brewer at times has a tendency to get most of their offense from their defense, and the story is, or I should say the book is on Brewer, if you can control their full court defense, you can really do some damage to them by the end of the ball game because it generates so much of their offense.
Well, they're looking for easy shots, certainly off their defense, and if they don't get those, then they have to rely on the half-court game, which really isn't their settee. Then when you force them into shooting threes, Brewer's inside game has not been as strong, I'm sure, as Coach Savage would have liked to have had been.
The advantage, I think, if you went with experience, certainly would have to go to the Brewer Witches. They were here last year, and for many of you people, remembering that game-winning shot by Mr. Layton over Mountain Blue in a quarterfinal game. They've had games where they've had to come through, put points on the board in order to get here. As we mentioned at the beginning of this contest, Brewer, by many coaches in the area, was picked to be number one, again, at least on paper. But sometimes what you put on paper and how the kids perform isn't necessarily what comes to being in the course of the season. Mark Savage said, what's the difference between the ball club now as opposed to what was at the beginning of the season? Attitude. And you certainly have to have an attitude in order to go further than at least one game here at the auditorium.
Right. The one advantage of being 7, Brewer doesn't have to worry with a monkey in their back of being a high seed team. They come in, won 5 out of 6, gained some momentum, and really for them, they played 5 tournament games really down the stretch. They had to win those ball games to get here. So they faced that pressure. Messalonskee now hasn't faced that pressure. They've been in since probably early January.
With that, let's go over to Alan Snell, the floor announcer, as he introduces the two teams for this coming contest.
From Brewer High School. Facing the Eagles from Messalonskee High School. I would like to now introduce the team members. First, for the visiting Brewer Witches. A senior wearing number 12, Aaron Largay. Number 24, a junior, Chris Corson. A senior, number 30, Eric Duffy. Number 32, a junior, Rob Clausen. A senior, number 34, John Bennett. Number 40, a junior, Dan Coffin. Number 42, a senior, Marco Kamezic. A junior, number 50, James Hinckley. Number 54, a junior, Buddy Chambers. And a sophomore, number 44, Pat Griffin. And now the team members for the home team, Messalonskee Eagles. A junior, number 11, Brad Roderick. Number 13, a junior, Tony Iskro. Number 21, a senior, Mike Spolier. A junior, number 25, Mike Fulling. Number 35, a junior, Corey King. A senior, number 42, Robbie Pullen. Number 44, a freshman, Jeff Ponitz. A junior, number 50, Tony Paulette. A sophomore, number 15, John Mathias. And now the starters for this evening's second contest. First for the Brewer Witches, coached by Mr. Mark Savage. At guard, number 10, a senior, Nate Freeman. And for the Messalonskee Eagles, coached by Jim Kirchner. At guard, a senior, number 10, Eric Lewis. And for the Witches, at forward, number 14, a junior, Adam King. And for the Eagles, a senior, number 12, at guard, Ed Pillsbury. And for the Brewer Witches, a senior, number 20, at forward, Troy Levitt. And for the Eagles, at guard, a junior, number 23, Josh Henderson. And for the Brewer Witches, at guard, a senior, number 22, Jason Layton. And at guard for the Eagles, number 14, a senior, Chris McNeil. And for the Brewer Witches, number 52, a senior, at center, Mike Johnston. And for the Messalonskee Eagles, at center, number 33, a junior, Erich Bushman. The officials for this contest are Mr. Poulin and Mr. Shaw.
Jeff McIntosh, please come to the program.
We are all set to go at 9:45 p.m. in the evening here at the Bangor Auditorium.
Not a bad time to start, Willie, considering game time was 9:30 and we've had 8 ball games.
Yes, can have no complaints about that whatsoever, and I'm sure that the young men that will be playing before us momentarily, it really wouldn't make any difference what time it was.
Well, I can remember one year, I think, when we were playing at Arnold, we started the game almost at midnight one day. We had one of those long, late days. We had a couple of overtimes and so on. I think it was 11:15 when we started the final game.
The infamous 5 overtime ball game here for the Eastern Maine Final, where I believe it ended at, what, 1:20 a.m. in the morning?
Right, along with some rain delay, I think, in that game.
Yes, rain delay, appropriately put. The two centers, Messalonskee, Bushman, and for Brewer, they'll be going with Adam King. Both measure up at 6'5".
Yeah, King will jump, but he won't play inside. He'll be out on the perimeter.
And we're underway, controlled by Messalonskee.
Brewer straight out, man-to-man, right up front.
Lewis working against the man-to-man pressure. First shot is put up around off, no good. That was put up in the corner by Pillsbury. Taken down by McNeil. Ball deflected by King out of bounds. It will stay with the Eagles of Messalonskee.
Now, take a look at the matchup inside. Bushman is 6'5", number 33. He's going to go against Johnson from Brewer at 6'2". Because King's guarding number 14 out front.
Driving, scooping up and around and in. Chris McNeil, 2-0. Messalonskee on the board first.
Messalonskee got a nice ball club. We played them in a preseason tournament early in the season. They beat us by a point, Willie. They got some good players, and the big kid Bushman can play.
Kicked away. That'll be a violation. We'll stay with the Brewer Witches over here on the sideline.
Well, here comes the drive and the penetration now. Down the lane. Nice wide spread shot up and in.
McNeil showing good balance on that put-up.
Messalonskee straight man-to-man. Both teams man-to-man.
Old-fashioned, in-your-face defense. Looking for help, nothing there. Have to get off and almost lost. Controlled.
The only mismatch right now is number 23 for Messalonskee. Josh Henderson at 5'10" is guarding Adam King at 6'5". That's the only real mismatch now for Messalonskee.
Tried to go into Johnston, but Bushman for Oakland knocking it away defensively. These teams feeling each other out here in the first quarter of this quarterfinal matchup. Freeman off-balance shot. Nothing. Coming away with it are the Eagles. McNeil, coast to coast, gives it up off the iron. Around, up no good. Henderson, put back.
Yes, good shot. And again, hey, no tournament experience is not bothering Messalonskee right now. They've jumped right out 4-0.
Almost slips, gets it into Johnston, goes underneath to Levitt, up and in.
Yeah, nice play by Brewer. Found the double team coming at him and found the open man on the baseline.
Brewer, that tough man-to-man, full-court defense. Lewis, their leading assist man for Messalonskee, trying to spread the ball around, get people in the scoring column for his ball club. McNeil cut off by the Brewer defense. He has to kick it back out to the perimeter. Lewis deep and back at the perimeter. Bushman,
nice screen roll.
Screen roll, that will go out of bounds.
Okay, let's take a look now. Penetration. Nice dish off now inside from Johnson right into the Troy Levitt for the basket. Nice play.
Good heads-up offensive play on the part of the Brewer Witches. Johnston wanted to go one-on-one. He lets go. The jumper, no good. Levitt
fought for. That will go out of bounds. And that will go over to the Messalonskee Eagles. Levitt hustling, felt that perhaps it might be off another player, but the official didn't see it that way. Lewis taking his man one-on-one, trying to get away from the double team. Brewer forcing the offensive set of Messalonskee deep near midcourt. Lewis underneath, Bushman, head fake, up, block, whistle.
Yeah, good screen roll. Now, that's twice. They've used the screen roll, once from the left elbow, once from the right elbow.
Basic backyard basketball.
I think it's the first screen roll we've seen in the tournament.
I saw one in the MDI girls game.
Well, I'm talking about the A tournament.
Adam King with his first personal. On the line will be Bushman.
The only trouble with that one, he screened, the switch came with Adam King, whose man got screened on the roll, and he was picking up Bushman at 6'5".
Eric Bushman's first one up and in. They take a 3-point lead over the Brewer Witches. Just underway in the auditorium, this quarterfinal matchup.
Messalonskee starting 4 juniors and 1 senior, so Willie, they'll have some depth for next season.
Yeah, good experience for them. The second one by Bushman up and in. Freeman running the point now. Over to King. Let's go with a big jumper. 3 up and in. Adam King at 6'5", listed as a guard forward for the Brewer Witches. McNeil dropping it off to Bushman. He wants to work. He pivots. He goes up off the glass. Whistle.
Yeah, Johnson's going to have a hard job handling Bushman inside. Johnson at 6'2", Bushman at 6'5", and I think Bushman's reach makes him maybe 6'6", 6'7" there. It really isn't how tall you are, it's how far your arms, how long your arms are.
The book on Bushman was, at least from what I was told, that he doesn't handle himself very well in the paint, but somebody must have been reading out of the wrong chapter from what I've seen so far.
The day we played him, I thought he handled himself extremely well inside.
Bushman 3 for 3 from the line.
He shot the foul shots well, he went to the offensive board well, and I just thought he was a good player.
Second one will be out. Eric Bushman, only a junior at 6'5" for Messalonskee, misses this one. Layton on the attack for the Brewer Witches, coast to coast, pull-up jumper off the glass, up and in. Mr. Layton makes it look easy. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Bushman looking down, deflected by Layton. Taken back by Messalonskee. Lewis. Double set, he yells. Underneath, up, around, off, no good. Tapped up by Bushman, no good. Rebound, taken away. Knocked down, but Layton, check that. Levitt comes up with it. Trying to isolate Johnston underneath, but Bushman cutting him off. Now over to Levitt. Levitt wants to work, goes up off the glass, up and in.
Well, good penetration by Layton.
McNeil, that'll be a bump. Adam King would like to debate that fact, but I haven't seen many players convince an official.
Okay, here's Layton out. Here's Layton with a penetration now down to the right side, stops, jump shot off the glass, banked in and for 2.
We get a good opportunity to check out Mr. Bushman directly in front of us here at the table. Coming in, substitution. That was King's second personal. He'll be going out and into the ball game for the Winchester Brewer. Gentleman with the ball, Pawson, Rob Pawson, passed off, up and in, Levitt.
Yeah, nice penetration by Brewer, and timeout by Messalonskee.
And with that, we'll take a 30-second break and return.
When the high school basketball season comes to an end and things get back to normal, there will probably be a lot of work to catch up on, like that special building project you've been trying to get to. Well, the people at Hammond Lumber Company are ready to work with you to make sure you have all the tools and materials you'll ever need, plus free estimating and free delivery, too. So when you're ready to start building your building team, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
Shows Brewer's last hoop now. Coming down the right-hand side, I think that's Corson, number 32, in the penetration now, deep into the lane. Nice dish off, and Troy Levitt finishes it. Good penetration, and Brewer has gone to the penetration twice in a row here now to score the last 2 baskets.
Simply been beating the defensive set of Messalonskee down the floor.
Yeah, Brewer got good quickness.
Pillsbury putting the ball in play. Lewis to Bushman, almost taken away on the attack. McNeil knocked away, whistle though, traveling violation. And he had Chris McNeil, check that, Josh Henderson, all alone underneath on the breakaway. Travel before he put it up and in, and perhaps many spectators thought it might be a foul, but no traveling violation. Layton, let's go with a quick jumper, almost by the 3. Rebounding action underneath, coming away. Cleared off by Messalonskee.
Yeah, Corey King in the ball game now for Messalonskee.
Substitutes getting an opportunity to show their stuff. Henderson up off, no good. Corey King up and in, put back for Messalonskee. Layton wants to work, pulls up, nothing there. Freeman. Pawson. Brewer looking for some type of opening. There's Layton. Flies. Someone crashes to the floor, misses the shot. Tangled underneath. Bodies on the floor. Freeman clears it, knocks it back out to Pawson. People recollect themselves, and we're ready to go again. Johnson drives, fakes up off the glass and in.
Yeah, nice move by Johnson.
McNeil and Lewis do most of the ball handling for this Messalonskee club. Looks for something underneath, almost tied up. Gets it back out, deep to Lewis. Back over to, well, stripped away by Brewer. That's Levitt on the take back. Levitt a couple of head fakes. He wants to work. Knocked down. Here comes McNeil. Check that. Henderson is grabbed from behind. No shot.
Yeah, they're lucky that's not an intentional foul call on that one.
Josh Henderson picking up some.
Okay, let's take a look at Brewer now. Into Johnson in the post. He goes by Corey King. Good jump stop. Power layup. Up and in. Nice play by Johnson. Okay, here comes Messalonskee now after the steal now. Nice drive to the basket, and he's going to be grabbed. And really, I'm saying that he was lucky he didn't get an intentional foul because there was no question what his intent was at that time. Stop the penetrator.
Josh Henderson, his first one is up and in. Brewer up by 3, 2:07 left to go here in the first quarter.
Now, Brewers come in with the 2-minute mark, as they usually do with this new group, and they've got size, but they do decrease their quickness.
Second one by Henderson is up and in.
Because they've got 3 guys on the floor now at 6'5".
Corson, one of the subs coming in, Bennett. We'll look underneath for Hinckley, nothing there. Other big man is Chambers at 6'5" for Brewer. Knocked away, taken down by Henderson, partially deflected by, I think, Corey King. In the corner, jumper is up and in for 3. Messalonskee, credit Ed Pillsbury.
He got a good look at that too, Willie. He had plenty of time to get that off.
King is the one remaining ball player. Bump and run out front. That'll be a blocking foul on Henderson.
I think right now Brewer might want to post King upside. He's got about 7 inches on Henderson.
And Brewer will be playing it in, I believe, on their baseline. 1-4 spread that we see run so often to isolate the big people underneath.
Right now,
King.
King's the only Brewer outside threat right now with the group that they've got on the floor, Willie.
Bushman on the rebound for Messalonskee. Another 3 goes up, off, around, out, no good. That was put up and missed by Pillsbury. Tricky dribble. Chris Corson over to King. Underneath to Bennett. Bennett wants to work, drops it back out, flies up, around, and in. Buddy Chambers at 6'5". Drops it through for the Witches of Brewer.
Now Brewer's gone to a zone now with this big team on the floor. They've got an extended 2-3 zone.
And need we dare say they may take it away. Chambers at 6'5", thought better of it, pulls it out, wants to give it up to the little people.
Now Brewer will probably go for one shot now with less than 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Thorson, King, a little bit of a weave. Trying to pull that defense of Messalonskee out so somebody can play one-on-one basketball.
Now they'll wait till the 8-second mark probably before they take it to the basket.
Thorson, tricky dribble, looking for some help.
Yeah,
We're down
a
to
little bit
6.
through now. King will shoot it.
Fading away, up and in on the baseline. Adam King.
Good example, Willie, where King got a 7-inch height advantage on Henderson. He just took him to the baseline. Here it comes right now. The ball swung over to the right, the left-hand side to King. He penetrates down to the baseline, stops, good power move, and they let him shoot it. He's wide open, and he cans a 12-footer from the baseline.
A floater, get that on film. Let's take this break, and we'll be back for second quarter action.
Channel 5 sports coverage of the high school basketball tournament is brought to you by these Associated Grocers of Maine stores: Surefine Foods, Yankee Grocer, and AG Food Stores. And by your New England Ford dealers, home of 5 of the 10 best-selling vehicles in America.
Second quarter action just underway here at the auditorium. Brewer enjoying a 3-point lead. Starters are back in for both ball clubs, except Brewer will be going with Pawson.
Right, and this again gives Messalonskee a little bit of a size advantage.
Henderson averaging about 14 a game for Messalonskee. Thrown away, that'll go into the backcourt. Heads up play, saved up by Layton. Knocked back, Freeman to Levitt, to Freeman, up and in. Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Bushman working hard, wanting for the ball, calling for it. Good defensive set, though, by Brewer, negating that inbounds pass down on the blocks. Lewis, up, around, off, no good. Bushman with the board, with the putback, up and in.
Yeah, nice move by Bushman. I thought somebody said they couldn't play in the paint.
That may perhaps fire. Freeman with a big 3. Up around, no good. Crashing for the rebound.
Yeah, Corey King with a nice rebound for Messalonskee.
Henderson now showing his ball handling ability. Tricky dribble between the legs to get it over the 10-second line for Messalonskee. Jumper goes up, around, off, no good. Henderson on the putback, no good. Crashing to the floor is Corey King. Initial shot by Messalonskee, Pillsbury off. A couple of good looks at the hoop, but nothing. Freeman driving up and in.
Yeah, nice call. No question about that. Nice call. Let's take a look now. Here comes the penetration. The defender's there. It's 10 on 10, and the offensive 10 is the loser with a player control foul.
Yes. Bushman will sit down momentarily, and coming into the ball game now, Jeff Ponitz at 6'3", only a freshman. Fakes a long down court pass. Lewis, the double team, gets away with it to King, to Henderson. 1-4, 1-4, yells the floor general Lewis.
They're going to go 1-4 high. Looking for back doors off this offensive set.
Henderson with a jumper, right-hand side, up around, off, no good. King, put back.
Yeah, nice job by Corey King. Again, Brewer not giving the box out on the opposite side.
Coach Savage up hard and coaching for Brewer, saying you've got to cover the backside.
Right now, they're sagging off for Freeman.
Steps. Some coaches will have that philosophy. They will tell their defensive players, prove to me he can shoot.
Right,
prove to me he can shoot.
Right, evidently their scouting report says that Freeman can't shoot from the outside.
Well, they also said that Bushman couldn't play in the paint either.
Right.
So
we'll see what happens.
Lewis. Pillsbury tries to go back to his right. Baseline jumper underneath. Henderson up around and in.
Henderson, nice player for his size. Even on about 5'9", he gets into the paint very well.
1-point ball game. Early in the second quarter of this quarterfinal matchup, Layton fall-away jumper off the glass as he hits the floor.
A real tough shot by Layton.
Tenacious full-court defense being put on here by the Brewer Witches. Their trademark lately. Dumps off to Henderson, no good. Coming away with it. Levitt for the Witches, and here they go. Underneath, Layton twists, misses, rebound coming away. Freeman knocked away, whistle.
Foul on Henderson. Okay, here's penetration now deep into the lane by Eric Pillsbury. He sets it off right into Henderson, who powers and scores. Very nice play. And Henderson, again, for a small player, is willing to win against the big boys and battle them.
Yeah, gets up real quick. And Bushman is back in now for Messalonskee.
Again, a 1-4 set across. They'll try to lob into Johnson. He's not open.
Freeman. 10 on 10. Coach Cimbollek describes the action with those two players. Freeman and Lewis going at each other. Underneath, Johnston turns, fires up and in.
Yeah, nice entry pass from the baseline.
Pawson.
Johnson has sealed his man off real good.
Little bounce pass to the inside, more difficult than it looks. And here comes Messalonskee, almost knocked away. Control, Corey King, little fade away on the right-hand side for two. Layton behind the three-point arc. He gets it.
Yeah, you can't give him that kind of a look.
And that was a good look.
Yeah, no question. Plenty of time.
Bushman holds it up, drops it off, almost taken down. Pillsbury, baseline, looking underneath for Bushman. Partially deflected, but coming up with it, Corey. Back out front, and away we go again. Drives, dumps it off. Jumper goes up, around, off, no good, deflected. Still going up, saved.
Nice play by
Coming
Bushman.
back to Lewis. Thrown right into the hands of Layton. Layton on the breakaway, contact and a whistle.
Messalonskee had a nice little run there, but then Brewers come back with their own run here, Willie.
Chris McNeil started that action down there with a simple pull-up jumper. And the rest of the action took off from there.
Yeah, and what had happened was Messalonskee's Eric Lewis, when he turned around, he didn't see who was there. He threw it right into the hands of Layton.
Henderson back in the ball game, and Corey King, I believe, will be sitting down for Messalonskee.
Much like the play in the NCAA game when Georgetown lost to North Carolina. And the ball was passed directly into the hands of Worthy.
Layton's first one. He'll be looking at the next one. 2 for 2. McNeil getting over the 10-second line now. Pillsbury. Tricky dribble between the legs. Wants to work to the right. Jumper up around, off, no good. Coming away to it. Right into the hands. Drops it off. No good. Rebounding action coming away to Pillsbury, I believe. Up and in. Ed Pillsbury for three, the right-hand corner. Freeman with a three of his own, no good. Foul underneath. 14 White, you heard it.
Well,
Chris McNeil.
Good box out. You might have rode him back a little bit, but good box out.
Corey King coming in, Henderson coming out.
Again, Brewer going to that low 1-4 set.
In the corner for Layton. He wants to work the baseline. Accidental foul, but I guess most fouls are accidental.
Well, number 14 for Messalonskee, Chris McNeil just slipped, and when he did, he ran right into Layton. Again, Brewer going to 1-4 set again.
McNeil will be coming out for Messalonskee. Lewis will be coming in. Messalonskee playing a lot of people, as does Brewer. Johnston underneath, fakes, nothing there. Drops it off.
Nice,
nice behind the back pass.
Carson to Boy Levitt. Nice play by Brewer. Brewer with their biggest lead, I think, Willie, now 5 points.
Wanting to work.
Maybe a foul.
Blocking foul. Blocking foul.
Well, he bellied right up to him and just took his legs away from him with his knee.
You knew that was coming.
You know, no question. Well, I haven't got my hands on him, ref. No, but you've got your knee on him.
Jeff Ponitz goes out.
Now, Brewer's not coming with that other group of 5 right now at the 2-minute mark. He's going to stay with his first team.
Mike Fulling.
Well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Here's the 2-minute mark. Here they come.
You spoke too soon, Coach.
Absolutely. Should have known better.
Pillsbury backing in, losing it. Johnston on the takeaway. 3-on-1. Over to Layton, up and in.
Yeah, nice fast break by Brewer.
And with that, Messalonski's going to burn another timeout. We'll take this break and return to finish up the second quarter here at the auditorium.
I'm Casey Kasem with your Ford dealer's #1 hits. Today's #1 hit spotlight is on Ford's Great Percent event, where special 4.8% financing means great savings. Let's hear more.
Get special low 4.8% financing on your choice of 10 new 96 Fords, including Taurus, Windstar, Ranger, Contour, and more. Plus, get 4.8% or $1,000 cash back on Windstar. But hurry, the Great Percent event ends soon.
For America's #1 hits, I'm Casey Kasem. See your New England Ford dealer today.
Layton 11, 8.
Back here, 1:47 left to go here in the second quarter. Brewer, the #7 seed team, going up against #2 Messalonskee, although we made mention of the fact Brewer is not a #17.
I think what's happened is I think you've seen Brewer's experience pay off a little bit here in the first half versus Messalonski's inexperience in tournament action.
Bushman underneath, or I should say, foul line. Looping pass.
Brewer's got that big group in now. They're going to play a 2-3 zone.
And they are forcing Messalonskee out deep and back to the three-point line.
Well, you've got King out front at 6'5". You've got good size.
Bushman off his head, thrown out of bounds. That'll go over to the Brewer Witches.
I'd say she's concerned. Right now, she has a reason to be with them down 7 points.
Chris Corson and Adam King staying in, knocked away by Bushman. That was intended for Chambers. Shot goes up by King, no good. Chambers on the rebound, put back, turn firing, no good. Curry King, Messalonskee hauling it down. And here goes Lewis. Stutter step into the paint, he fakes, drives, knocked down on the block. Back to Curry King with a 3, up no good. Chambers falling over a player on the floor, dribbling on his knees, and Brewer still comes away with it. Dumping it off, Chambers higher to the eye and up and in.
The foul's going to be on #12, Ed Pillsbury. Brewer right now, let's take a look. Now here comes penetration by Corson. Stops into the lane, nice bounce pass to Chambers. He turns, moves, gets fouled, and scores.
For a while there, it looked somewhat similar to an abbreviated game of leapfrog being played with a basketball.
Well, what had happened was that on the left-hand side of the court here, the Messalonskee guard had penetrated, his shot got blocked, he lost his balance, fell down, the Brewer rebounder fell on top of him, but he didn't travel because he didn't have control of the basketball.
Buddy Chambers, a good look at the junior at 6'5". They are now at a 9-point lead.
Well, Messalonskee led by about 3, and Brewer's gone on a wild run here, ran about 8 or 9 points in a row on him.
Off the front, no good. Big rebound, though, taken down by Brewer. Turns, fires, around, no good. Coming out to Corson. Hinckley tried to put the ball back up. Good look at the basket, but it didn't fall for him.
Yeah, Brewer's going to hold for 1 shot.
Bennett back out to Corson. Corson's going to be content to get this one down to 8 or 9 seconds before they shoot it. looking for help, finding the cutter. Pawson up and in for Brewer. Rob Pawson. McNeil fires at the gun off, no good. 9-point lead enjoyed by the Brewer Witches over the Messalonskee Eagles. Will take this break and return for halftime statistics.
Hi, I'm Monica Arnold, a cheerleader at Hamden Academy, and you're watching Channel 5 sports coverage of the Class A basketball tournament on the home of high school sports, WABI TV. Let's go Channel 5!
If we are to open new frontiers in science, we must learn basic principles. If we are to perfect new information technologies, we must master the old ones. If we are to harvest the oceans, we have to start here, in our public schools, where our kids are learning to analyze problems and solve them together, where they're learning about America's past, and above all, learning for America's future. Public education works.
This is not just another pretty face. This is not just another pretty truck. And this is not just another commercial. It's the chance of a lifetime to own a tough Chevy truck, the longest-lasting, most dependable truck on the road. Nobody sells more Chevy trucks than Bean & Conquest, and Bean & Conquest has never had more Chevy trucks in stock.
I'll put you into a new truck for less than anyone else. I am that guy who dares to deal, you know, at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet for your new Chevy truck.
Just the best, you go down like the rest.
Brewer High School cheerleaders joined now at halftime by Duke Albanese, who is the superintendent of schools in the Messalonskee school system. And Duke, what is this? Well, partly number one through part of the season for this basketball team, and entering this tournament as one of the top seeds. What does this mean for the community?
Well, it's sort of a continuation of a terrific year that we've had. We're relatively young to Class A sports, and this year, starting in the fall, we had our boys and girls soccer teams in the Eastern Maine Championships. Our field hockey team still competing in Class B, won the state championship. Our football team was in the playoffs. And then we switched to the winter sports, and our basketball team is the first time we've made it to the Class A tournaments here in Bangor, and it's fantastic.
High school hockey having a terrific winter?
Absolutely. They were 18-2-1 going into the tournament, and they were seeded number 2. They lost a great game to Stearns High School. And the most important part of everything is that our athletic teams have been terrific in terms of their athletic prowess and their success, but their academics have been outstanding. In the fall season, there were about 125 athletes on those teams, and their grade point average was 3.24. So they're outstanding in the classroom and outstanding on the athletic field and in the gymnasium, and we really appreciate that.
Lots of statistics to be proud of. Duke, also, it seems very unusual for a hockey team to sort of emerge in the same winter that the basketball team, the boys basketball team does, all the group of the same athletes in a relatively small Class A school.
Yes, that's very, very true, and I think we benefit from a tremendously supportive community, but we also we benefit from some terrific, bright, intelligent kids and coaches. The hockey program has come so fast. Seeded number 2 after only the second year of interscholastic play. It's been unbelievable, really.
Waterville and Winslow, certainly every year they have tremendous athletic teams. Messalonskee not playing second fiddle to any of them anymore. Congratulations for a great sports season.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tim.
Duke Albanese, superintendent of schools at Messalonskee High School in Oakland, and we appreciate his time. Back with more. We've got a lot of scores to get you caught up on this Class A quarterfinal day. All those scores coming up in just a moment.
When the Pella Window Company chose Hammond Lumber Company to be Maine's largest Pella distributor, Maine builders and homeowners got 2 things: the special quality and features of Pella windows and the special services of Hammond Lumber, like free delivery, on-site estimating, and careful attention to every detail. So when it's time to sink your teeth into your next building project, look into Pella Windows, from Hammond Lumber.
What kind of people in Maine and New Hampshire drive Chevy trucks? People who work hard and need a truck that works just as hard. People who know how to have a good time and who understand the meaning of rugged individualism. People who need the dependability of the toughest, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
I like them tough.
Who drive Chevy trucks? People like you.
This is where the flame will be brought with this torch from Athens, Greece. It'll be transported by runner, galloping horseback, and bicycle. There are going to be over 10,000 torches made for the over 10,000 runners. The flame will be passed from torch to torch. The torch itself will not be passed. I will be participating in the relay and will have the opportunity to pass the flame to my daughter. It will be a moment that I'm sure I will not have a dry eye on.
If you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Everybody's dancing up a storm here. Messalonskee trying to dance their way back into this 8th and final game here on the docket, and it was a busy day. All the boys' games and all the girls' games will be complete in about 45 minutes. The first one this morning, it was a boys' contest. Mount Blue over Lawrence. Game was closer than the final score indicates, but Mount Blue advances on into the semifinals, and Jim Bessie will likely leave his feet again later next week in the semifinals. And Bangor a winner as well. That's who the Cougars will play in round 2, a winner over Presque Isle. That one also closer than the final score. Can't get much closer than that one right there. Old Town in a squeaker over Gardner, and we're playing our final boys game right now. The girls matchups, it will be, well, the boys matchups will be Mount Blue against Bangor and Old Town against the winner of this contest. And 2 Big East teams already in, 1 KVAC team, and possibly 2 as well. On the girls' side, it was Old Town, just a couple of points separating the Indians and the Lawrence Bulldogs. Also on the girls' side, Coney advances, trying for their another perfect season, their 42nd consecutive win for Coach Paul Vachon. Presque Isle, number 6 seed over number 3, our biggest upset of the day to that point by 5 points. And also on the girls' side, Bangor escaped with a win. Waterville had it dead even with just a couple of minutes left. The Rams get that win. Old Town and Coney, that's the first semifinal game on Thursday. The second one will be Presque Isle and Bangor. 3 teams from the Big East, 1 team from the KVAC left on the girls' side. Now let's go back over to Willie and Bob, guys.
Okay, thank you, Timmy. And Bob, I mean, what can you say about a superintendent who's Duke?
Well,
I mean, there ought to be more of them, like Hammering Hank or Spike or something like that.
Well, when they're at Duke, they're ahead of things, right?
Yes, they are. Well, getting back to the ball game that we just saw, 16 minutes, Messalonskee for a while there looked as though they were going to play dead even with Brewer. And then Brewer, the last 3 or 4 minutes, they put on a 7, 8, 9-point run to nothing for Messalonskee, and that's the way it sits right now, an 11-point lead for the Witches.
Well, I think Brewer's experience here in last year playing 2 games and Messalonskee not being here really kind of showed up. I thought Messalonskee rushed things a little bit, really haven't got the ball inside the Bushman, and that one spell of about 4 minutes, Brewer turned this thing right around. The scoring right now so far for Brewer, pretty even. Layton, Levitt, and King all with 6 each. Pillsbury leads Messalonskee with 11. Henderson has 6, and King has 5. So right now, Brewer with real balance and experience, and right now that experience seems to be showing up.
And also, I think okay, let's take this break and we'll return for 3rd quarter action here at the auditorium.
A specific goal or further stage. For Husson College, progress means preparing a center of modern education for Maine students. It means offering students new social, spiritual, and cultural opportunities. And while Husson College is progressing, we remain committed to the tradition of a quality education with individual attention. come visit us and see why we're Maine's College of Business, Health, and Professional Studies. Husson College. Progress for the students of tomorrow.
Here at O'Connor GMC, we've got a great selection of new GMCs at a price you can afford. Why not join O'Connor's Club Coupe Club with this 96 4x4 Club Coupe for just $17,996. Room for 5 or 6 inside, a half-ton payload, and luxury like a car. We didn't get to be Maine and New England's largest GMC truck dealer by charging too much or stocking too few. Because of our tremendous used car and truck sales, your trade has never been worth more. It's worth the drive on 95 or the road nearest you, because the only name you need to know for GMC is O'Connor.
Third quarter action, quarterfinal action, might I say, in the boys' bracket, Class A tournament basketball here at the Bangor Auditorium. Willie Gavett along with Bob Cimbollek. We're down to the last 16 minutes, and one thing we do know, the winner of this one will go up against the Old Town Indians Friday evening in a semifinal matchup.
Critical time for Messalonskee right now in the opening minutes of this third quarter, Willie.
Bushman dropping it down. Turnaround jumper on the baseline, up, off, no good. Partially tipped up, taken down by McNeil, no good. Tipped up again by Bushman, I believe. Still live, that will go out of bounds.
Boy, Messalonskee had 4 chances at it then, just none of them would drop.
Wow. Pillsbury with a little jumper on the right-hand side. 3 or 4 putbacks for Messalonskee. Pillsbury again going to his right. Again, up off the glass, no good. Bushman, big rebound, powers it up, knocked away by King. McNeil knocked away by King. Bushman put out.
Wow, well, this basket should count, Willie, I would think.
I would suspect so.
Well, they're asking now.
Did it go in or?
Well, did it count? The ball went in. I think he's asking if the ball went in.
No shots. No shots. They'll put it in play on the baseline. Messalonskee must have in 2 possessions 7, 8 shots.
Yeah, at least 6 offensive rebounds.
Nothing in the well, though. Pillsbury whacked across the face partially. That, I believe, was McNeil. Accidental.
Right.
Those are things you just don't see until after they've happened.
Right, it was real quick. I mean, he's just trying to bat the ball around. When he did, he just hit him right in the eye.
So McNeil will sit down. Partially deflected by Brewer. Levitt knocks it out.
Yeah, the bounce pass, they slowed down, didn't get there. You just can't use bounce passes on this floor.
Pass was intended for Henderson. Never got there. Corey King. And Lewis. Henderson back to the 3-point arc. Up around, off, no good. Rebound underneath, fought for. Coming away is Lewis. Henderson drives,
nice
dumps it off, up Pillsbury for 2.
Nice penetration by Henderson, and the off-foot pass on the baseline. That ball stayed up there for a minute and a half, almost a minute and a half, Willie.
Yes, it did. Knocked away by Layton. Underneath, Johnston up and in.
A nice left-hand move by Johnson.
You have to give Layton of Brewer credit, knowing the ball was going to be picked off. Sacrificed his body to go parallel to the floor to knock it to a teammate.
Yeah, and Layton made a nice, Johnson made a nice move afterwards.
Johnston on the line. 3-point play the old-fashioned way. And back into the ball game now will be Chris McNeil for Messalonskee. Going out will be Ed Pillsbury.
And Brewer with his biggest lead now, Willie, at 12 points. Brewer's going to extend now, full court pressure, man-to-man. They'll run and jump out of this.
McNeil getting it across the 10-second line. Into the corner, Corey King drives, deflected by King in the back. Here comes Levitt on the breakaway to Layton. Pull-up jumper, off, no good. Rebound coming away to Corey. Check that. Yeah. Bushman, and the foul will go against Levitt of Brewer. Both these two teams are sacrificing their bodies as far as going to the offensive and defensive boards.
Oh yeah, hey, they're playing with abandon now. So everything's on the line, and let it all go right there.
McNeil, nice here we go. Henderson up and in.
Nice play of breaking the press, pass to the middle of the court diagonally, then from Bushman to a streaking Henderson down the left-hand side of the court for layup.
Layton, Freeman, they wanted to isolate Johnston underneath on Bushman. Trying to seal to the inside. A lot of contact. Those two big men up pounding each other. Jumper off, no good. Corey King comes away with it. Bushman and Johnston. Battle of the big people down on the blocks.
Brewer still straight man-to-man defense. Neither team has changed.
Driving, dumps it off. Corey King, jumper off, no good. Rebound, Henderson high into the air. Puts it up and over the top of the rim for two.
Boy, Henderson really works hard for a small player. He goes right in there, he bumps the trees and battles them.
Quick jumper, quick jumper.
Explosive.
Three by King of Brewer. No good. Big rebound. Levitt partially deflected. Gets his own rebound. Tries to go up with it. Deflected. Here's Lewis on a breakaway to Henderson. Over. Johnston up and in.
What's happened now? Brewer took two ill-advised three-pointers, Willie, with a 12-point lead. And each time, down came Messalonskee. Okay. All right, here's a shot in the corner by King. The rebound now over to Henderson. Great leap. Stop. One power move. Fumbled the ball. Stayed with it. Good position. Laid it up and in.
And with that, it's only a 6-point lead now enjoyed by Brewer. We'll take a 60-second break and return here to the auditorium.
If you need help on your Social Security claim, call a law firm that concentrates on Social Security law. Make sure the law firm has professionals that focus on Social Security issues. If you've been turned down on your first or second request, don't give up. Call an experienced lawyer. You may be entitled to benefits. Even if it's been a few years, if you're still disabled, call this number. A lawyer can help you.
Lowry and Associates help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 1-800-999-LEGAL. They're in your corner.
Recycling's great, isn't it? You can buy a soda, drink it, and return the empty bottle. You only pay for what you use and cash in for what you don't want anymore. Just like at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet Geo. Only pay for what you use. Choose how long you want to use it or how much you want to pay a month. Make a refundable deposit in your driving. Only pay for what you use. Only at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet Geo, Summer Street, Bangor. Don't keep paying for what you don't want anymore.
Back here at the auditorium after that timeout. Possession was to no avail by Brewer. Messalonskee came away with it, and Corey King hit a long three.
They were down 39-27. They've hit 9 points in a row here now.
You can hear the Messalonskee crowd yelling defense. These hardy souls that brave the interstate, dog sled, snowmobile, you name it, to get here to watch their team play. King with a jumper from outside, off, no good. Rebound controlled by Bushman, partially stripped by Levitt. Messalonskee controls.
Again, Brewer shooting a three and not having any success. That's 4 in a row they've missed, Willie.
Lewis directing traffic. Corey King, high lob to Bushman. He turns, he fires, whistle. Bushman a little upset with himself, perhaps feeling that he should have made the shot.
Okay, here we come now. Here's Henderson all the way through, misses a shot. Now the ball gets kicked back out. Henderson gets over to Corey King, gets a real good look and cans the three.
Ah, the wonders of replay.
Well, again now, Brewer, I think maybe some ill-advised shots have really kind of shot Messalonskee right back into this ballgame.
Bushman on the line, 4-2. Season average, as you see, 14.8, only 5 tonight, well below that. Adds 1 to it. This game's not over. We still have 12 minutes of basketball here at the auditorium.
Well, I've worked 4 games today, Willie, and every one of them has been close. So, good luck of the draw, I think.
Second one is around, no good. Big rebound by Levitt for the Brewer Witches. Partially deflected. Here comes Henderson on the fly again. Left-hand side. Goes to the iron, up and in.
Nice play by Henderson.
Left-handed off the glass as he floats through the air.
That's his second steal.
That's exactly right. He's been involved in the last 3 plays by Messalonskee.
Absolutely. Nice play. Really hustled.
Boston in for the Witches now. Mark Savage desperately trying to find a combination that will click offensively.
Well, Brewer needs to get a good shot right now.
Goes to the iron, off, no good. Rebound, Corey King giving up to Lewis.
Brewer really needs to look to get inside to Johnson a little bit, slow it down just a little bit.
The floor general, Lewis of Messalonskee, barking out instructions. McNeil, stolen away, stripped by Layton. Layton spinning, turning, firing off the glass, no good. Big rebound, Bushman controls. Fatigue starting to show on the faces of some of the players on the floor. Corey King with a jumper up and in on the left-hand side.
Yeah, King coming off the bench plays real well for Messalonskee. Remember, most of these players from Messalonskee are all juniors, Willie.
Yes. Johnston wants to work. He turns, he fires. Bushman on the board.
Well, this has been a 14-0 run for Messalonskee because they were down 39-27, Willie.
And Eric Bushman controlling the defensive boards for the Eagles of Messalonskee.
He's going to get a 5-second call if he doesn't give it a bit quick.
Looking for Bushman underneath. King turns, fires up. No good. Tapped out. McNeil. He wheels. He fires off the glass. No good. Henderson with a board. Push underneath.
Yeah. Henderson again really aggressive to the offensive board. Okay, let's take a look now. Here's the pass onto the side over to Corey King. I mean to Henderson rather. Henderson stops. Passes to Corey King on the baseline. Gets a nice look. Plenty of time. Cans the open 12-footer from the left baseline.
That is perhaps the key. Messalonskee getting some real good looks at the iron.
Yeah, I think Messalonskee's shot selection has been a little bit better here, and it's put him right back in the ball game. Plus Henderson's 2 steals.
Long looping pass intended for Bushman, cut off by the defensive set. Pawson and Brewer. Partially deflected. Johnson juggling it, comes away with it. Freeman behind the 3. Up, off, no good. Big rebound, Pawson, I believe, or is it Corson? Corson comes away with it. He's fighting for possession. Gives it up to Freeman with a jumper on the left-hand side. Off, no good.
Well, Brewer
coming away is Lewis.
Right now. Brewer's gone completely cold, Willie. They had 36 points at the half. They've only had 3 points in the third quarter.
Looping pass, Bushman backside, deflected by Levitt. That will go out of bounds and go back over to the Brewer Witches. Levitt, pretty good vertical hang time for a man his size. Deflected the ball going off Bushman.
Again, Brewer with that 39-27 lead. They've seen a 14-0 run go here, and they've only had 3 points in the third quarter. They've gone cold. They're colder now than it is outdoors outside. Really.
Yes, it is. Big team back in for Brewer. Corson. Jumper goes up in the corner, around off, no good. Put up by Hinckley, up, no good. Shot initially put up for the Brewer Witches by Pawson.
Now, Bushman lost his glasses, so the official's timeout for that can get repaired. There'll be no charge timeout. He'll just get a chance to put him back on.
And Messalonskee getting some subs into the ball game while Brewer's starters are getting a break.
Now, good move by Coach Kirchner to get Henderson off and give him a rest. He's going to give Bushman a rest. He's going to give McNeil a rest here. And they're going to play for one shot, I'm sure, here for the last 1 minute.
Ponitz and Fulling.
Yeah, especially with the big team out here, because now Brewers man-to-man, they'll have a hard job matching up here.
Maybe they won't wait.
Well, let's see.
Driving, shooting. Up, off, no good. Rebound underneath, put up, no good. Taken down. Shot put up by Fulling. Here comes Brewer on the break. Dropped over to Bennett, but that'll be deflected by Lewis.
I don't think that's what Coach Kirchner wanted, that last setup here, Coach. I think he wanted the last shot.
I do believe so. Pillsbury into the ball game also for Messalonskee. Brewers Pawson underneath, trying to find Corson on the cut, but nothing there. Cut off by Pillsbury.
Well, we'll see if Brewer's going to wait for the last shot. Nope, they're not going to.
Turns, fires up, no good. Coming off by Chambers.
Now they're going to spread the court. The last time they came down, they went too early. They go
jumper,
early
long one, up off by Pillsbury, no good. Rebound by King, up off the iron, no good. Hinckley on the takedown. No shot will be gotten off. And that'll end 3/4 of basketball here at the auditorium. Messalonskee up by 2. Will take this break and return for the fourth quarter.
Coverage of the high school basketball tournament on Channel 5 is brought to you by Lowry & Associates Attorneys, a Maine firm helping injured people statewide. And by Village Subaru, Bean & Conquest Chevrolet Geo, and Village Car Company, proud sponsors of high school basketball.
First day, my new boss throws me the keys.
Get it fixed, kid.
So I took it to Charlie. Guy's a real pro.
Let's get the parts.
Charlie says at CarQuest, they believe to be the best, you gotta use the best parts. Like premium quality CarQuest bearings and seals for all imported and domestic cars and trucks of all sizes.
Relax. It's done. Did you get the car fixed, kid?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get the parts?
CarQuest?
Welcome to the pros, kid.
Back here at the auditorium, Brewer decides to go with a big team that they normally end the quarter with. Tried to go into Hinckley. Knocked down by Messalonskee. This will be the last quarter of the day. One of these two teams will be back here Friday evening.
Yeah, Brewer now back with that big team on the floor going with an extended 2-3 zone.
Very content. Henderson driving the baseline over the top. Play a control foul.
Yeah, good defense by Chambers. He stepped in, took the charge.
Buddy Chambers at 6'5" held his defensive position.
Okay, let's take a look now. Here comes Henderson, penetration on the baseline. No, but Chambers is there. Nice call.
Walking it out, Pawson for Brewer. Deflected, partially intended for Chambers. Here comes Henderson. Drops it off to Bushman. Left hand up and in.
Oh.
Pretty move by the big man.
Yes, Henderson's been, Henderson made a nice play then. Stole the ball. Well, actually an errant pass and got the ball into Bushman's hands.
Bennett in back of the three-point line. Looking for help. Underneath, partially deflected. Hinckley turnaround jumper around. No good. Taken down by Corey King. And Brewers Fab Five waiting to come in. Henderson on the pull-up, partially deflected. Hard to the floor is Hinckley. Cleared off by Corson.
Stolen away.
Kicked away by Lewis.
Real critical part of the game right now for Brewer. They've gone now really almost, 7.5 minutes, Willie, with just 3 points.
Brewer will come back in with their starting five. Freeman, Levitt, Layton, King, and Johnston. Looping pass underneath, intended for Johnston. Picked off by Bushman of Messalonskee.
Messalonskee got playing with real good confidence right now, Willie. Now Brewer's small group in, they're going back man-to-man.
Trying to drive through is McNeil. Spinning, dropping it off to Bushman, taken away by Johnston, double dribble.
Yeah. Good call.
Yes.
Good
you can
call.
dribble, but you can't fumble.
I'll buy that.
Lewis had Bushman on the pick.
Coach Kirchner now setting an out-of-bounds play up. We'll see what's going to happen.
McNeil behind the three, looking to isolate Bushman. Lobs it over the top. Push-off, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Johnson of Brewer says, yeah.
Bushman had his hand in his back, pushed off. If he'd have just stepped away, took his arm away, been all right, but he held the man with his hand. Good call again. Well-officiated ball game, Willie, from the speed of the game and so on, but handled very well.
Coach Kirchner employing his team to valiantly keep the pressure on the Brewer Witches. Layton spins, wants to work, nothing there.
Messalonskie's defensive intensity has really picked up.
Freeman driving, pushing off, shot goes up, around, off, no good. Bushman on a big defensive rebound. Here comes Lewis down the right-hand side. Pulls it out, waits for the set, McNeil. McNeil to Henderson. McNeil being guarded by King, big mismatch. Fakes the three is Lewis. Looking to isolate Bushman underneath, but Johnston doing a good job, almost takes it away. Bushman, soft touch off, no good. Coming away with a tie-up, takedown. Bushman and Levitt go to the floor for their respective teams. Alternating possession.
The thing I like about Bushman, when he makes a mistake and misses, he gets on himself, not negatively, just says, hey, I got to do a better job. A lot of times players don't want to admit they make mistakes, so they don't do the job. Right. He's played hard.
Pillsbury coming in for, I believe that was one out of the ball game. McNeil?
I think so.
Almost stolen away by Brewer.
Well, I guess it is, too. It's going to go off number 10, Messalonskee, Eric Lewis.
It's up defensive play by Chris Corson on the part of the Brewer Witches.
But again, looking up, Willie, Brewer has not scored for a long, long time.
King in back of the three-point arc. Partially deflected. He'll come up with a jumper for the foul line. Up off, no good. Coming away. I believe that was Corson. King with a big three outside, off, no good. Rebound controlled by Layton, up, no good. Going to the floor.
Well, he was pushed by number 12, Ed Pillsbury. I've got to say, Willie, probably Brewer is, let's take a look here. Here's a shot by King, the three. Flanks it off. Here comes the offensive rebound. And he's fouled after the ball left his hand,
Bushman.
but he was still in the act of shooting. That's Bushman's second foul.
2 shots. Yes.
And finally, Brewer gets off 39. They led 39-27. It was a 16-0 run by Messalonskee midway through the third period to the midway through the fourth period here.
No good. Big rebound, Henderson. Down underneath, Corey King tries to find some help. Double team, back out to Henderson. Henderson wants to work, goes to the iron, up and in off the window.
Yeah, nice penetration by Henderson.
Taking it over to the big people, Henderson. Jumper goes up by Corson for two. For two, they say. His foot was on the line. Messalonskee very patient, stripped by Levitt. Levitt on the breakaway, loses it on his hip, turns, fires off balance, up around and in.
Now, 1-point game. Brewer got back in the ball game with 2 quick field goals.
Defensive pressure by Brewer generates their offensive sets. Corner, Henderson, underneath, taken away by Levitt. Here we go again. Levitt, up and in.
Brewer scored more points in the last minute, Willie, than they did for about 9 or 10.
And with that,
take a look now. Here's the steal by Levitt. Goes right to the court. Nice move. Stop. Looks to see where the defender is. Lays it in.
well, that will take a brief break and return here for the final 3:27.
You could play in the rain. You could frolic in the snow. And when the sun shines, you could peel off the rest of your inhibitions. The Saab 900 convertible. Find your own road. Saab.
Domino's Pizza makes it simple.
Mega deal.
Just call for any pizza, any size, any number of toppings, just $9.99. That's right, just $9.99. Call now for this mega money saving deal. And don't forget to try our buffalo wings. It's the best deal in town.
We're back here at the Bangor Auditorium for the final 3 minutes, 27 seconds left to go in this quarterfinal matchup. Messalonskee, who came in number 3, going against the number 7 seed, Brewer Witches. Winner of this one gets to play Old Town Friday evening, and Brewer has put on a deluge of points in the last few minutes.
Well, it's been a 6-0 run. They trail 45-40. They've run 6 in a row here.
Henderson, jumper, left-hand side, up and in.
Boy, Henderson, number 23. Real money player. How many points has he got now? Henderson's got 18 points now for Messalonskee.
Johnston underneath. He wants to work. He turns. He fires and scores.
Now, Brewer get back on track. But also, Willie, the shots that Brewer are taking right now are good shots.
Yes. Ball goes out of bounds, but it will still go back to the Messalonskee Eagles.
Brewer's going to press full court.
Man-to-man, looking for the run jump perhaps is Brewer. Lewis handling the pressure very well for the Eagles. McNeil back in the ball game now. They are double teaming. McNeil driving, giving it up to Lewis. Corey King underneath, turns, fires. High arcing jumper, no good. Coming off, Johnston controlling for Brewer.
Yeah, nice box out by Johnson on Bushman.
And Brewer defensively is paying a lot of attention to Mr. Bushman every time down the court.
Yeah, they've done a good job on him tonight. The person that they've let go has been Henderson. Brewer in a high 1-4 set.
Big three out front, off the iron, no good. Who comes away with it? Corson on a good hustling play.
Brewer really lucked out on that one. 1 point lead. I don't think that's the kind of shot Coach Savage is looking for, Willie.
Messalonskee, I think, legs are getting tired. Not too many people went after that loose ball. Stripped by Lewis, but a foul.
Right.
Layton taking it into the paint.
I think the Brewer coaching staff telling the players what type of shots they want right now.
You have to be within visual sight of the rim before you can shoot it, guys.
Well, a 1 point lead. I don't think you need to be shooting threes with it.
Well, if you make them, though, you're a hero.
Well, yeah, but you've got to make them.
You have to make them. On the line, Mr. Layton, perhaps best remembered for his heroics last year at this time against Mountain Blue, will be on the line for 2.
He's probably Brewer's best foul shooter, and to have him on the line at this point certainly is in Brewer's favor.
80% from the charity stripe. Second one is good. And with that, Brewer would like to have a timeout, and we'll also pause for a 30-second break and return.
I went to the Saturn retailer and got a used Saturn.
A used Jeep.
A convertible.
Actually, it's a Honda. A Dodge Caravan.
We were surprised that they had used cars.
Seriously.
They treated me like I was buying a new Saturn. They really do.
They revolutionized the way of buying a car.
They checked out 150 different things.
Most car dealers wouldn't do that. There was no pressure.
The vultures weren't swooping at the Saturn dealer.
They're like real people.
They were pleasant, honest, straightforward, and fair.
I'm on a first-name basis with them.
I bought my used Saturn from
Rodney.
Ron.
Lou.
Charles. It was Dave. He's the first salesman I've ever trusted.
Back here at the Bangor Auditorium, 3-point lead, as you see, by the Brewer Witches. Possession arrow also will be in favor of the Brewer Witches. Team fouls, 5 on Messalonskee, only 4 on Brewer. We have to get to 7 before we get to the 1-and-1, 10 before we get to the 2-shot bonus. Well, 2:01 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
Brewer's done a good job to get back in this ball game because they really were struggling. They got some good shots, got some easy baskets on transition off their defense.
Yes.
And get themselves right back into the ball game.
Yes. Lewis telling his players to get back. He'll take it 1-on-1. A lot of confidence in his ball handling ability, working against Corson of the Witches. McNeil, check that. Pillsbury to the iron, turns, fires up, off, no good, gets his own rebound, head fake, left-handed shot up and in. Ed Pillsbury on the putback.
Yeah, he went right in against the Brewer big people and challenged him.
Good athletic ability. Weave being run by Brewer, trying to get a breakdown defensively, maybe get an easy layup. There it is, Layton on a floater.
Travel.
Every time you see that guy run by with that suitcase and the wheels on it, something's up.
Yeah. He's moving. Again, Messalonskee now with 1:17 to go, down 1. We'll see what kind of a shot they look for.
Looking to isolate, nothing. Almost picked off. It is picked off. King. Layton on the breakaway. Up and in. Credit Adam King of Brewer for that deflection. Credit Layton for the 2.
Yeah, nice defensive play. Again, Brewer's defense being their catalyst for their offense.
Pillsbury. 3. Yes!
And Pillsbury got a nice look at that. He was wide open on the left wing.
Euphoria erupts on the Messalonskee bench, but this ball game isn't over yet. We still have 40 seconds to go. Layton, knocked down, taken away, Henderson. Coast to coast, Henderson, Pillsbury, Henderson, up, off, no good, Pillsbury. Rebound deflected out of bounds, coming away to Layton. Levitt on the save.
Now, Brewer wait for one shot now. If you miss it, you're going into overtime, okay?
That's exactly right. And with that, Brewer will take a timeout. We'll pause and return for the final 17 seconds of this fourth quarter.
From the top of Mount Washington to historic Boston Harbor, this is another Ford update. This just in, Ford has just announced 2.9% financing or $1,000 cash back on all 96 3-door Escorts, including Sport, LX, and GT. It's unbelievable. 2.9% financing could save you over $2,900 in total savings. $1,000 cash back could mean no money down. That's 2.9% or $1,000 cash back on 3-door 96 Escorts. Just one more reason why. When Americans turn on their TV sets, they watch Ford Update. See your New England Ford dealer today.
We're back. 52-52, 16.9 left to go. Possession arrow goes to the guest, which is Brewer. Tie up, alternating the possession. Call it what you will, but Brewer will have the advantage on that one. And they also have another advantage. A once great philosopher said, if you haven't got the ball, you can't score. And Messalonskee doesn't have the ball.
Absolutely. Now, Brewer in this situation has got to really wait and not shoot the ball till about 2 seconds, which allows you one effort to go to the offensive board because you don't want to give it up too soon.
And no 1-and-1. No 1-and-1. King. You can see the clock ticking down in the lower right-hand corner of your set.
They want the ball in Layton's hands, and that's a good move.
Best foul shooter.
Oh.
Yes,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes. But no 1-and-1.
No, that's right. So that's a good foul by Messalonskee now. They can reset their defense.
That is only the 6th personal.
Right.
The next one will be a 1-and-1.
Absolutely. And that was a good, now Messalonskee wants a timeout. And good defensive strategy by Messalonskee.
Yes.
Foul, now we can reset the defense.
Yes. And with that, let's take a 30-second break and we'll return.
When the high school basketball season comes to an end and things get back to normal, there will probably be a lot of work to catch up on, like that special building project you've been trying to get to. Well, the people at Hammond Lumber Company are ready to work with you to make sure you have all the tools and materials you'll ever need, plus free estimating and free delivery, too. So when you're ready to start building your building team, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
We're back. 5.6 seconds left to go. Brewer will have the ball. As we've mentioned before, possession arrow is in their favor. The next personal against the Messalonskee Eagles will put a Brewer player on the line for at least a 1-and-1. Certainly statistics would say you would have to favor Brewer. They can either go into overtime or they can win it. Chances are they may not lose it.
Well, in this situation, Brewer has got plenty of time. The ball's going to be in the end line now, so you've got to ask a lot of bounds play set up.
Tough place to defend on the baseline.
Yeah, and when we see Messalonskee going to defend it man-to-man, Willie. Here's a screen up and a roll over and underneath.
Layton with a jumper. Up,
he's
up,
fouled.
Up, he's fouled.
Now, the question is it a two-shot foul or a three-shot foul? I think he was inside the line.
Yes. My question is, was it in the act or after?
I think he's going on the line. Well, he's going to go on the line anyway for 1-and-1.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. That has not been determined, or at least we haven't seen it yet, Willie.
We have seen that called earlier in the day, where the player took the shot, he had completed his motion. Okay, 2. That solves that problem very quickly.
And you got Layton, who's a guy you don't want on the foul line if you're Messalonskee.
80%. Yes. Does this give one the impression of deja vu?
Well,
Mr. Layton, again, with an opportunity to be a hero in a quarterfinal matchup. Second one. Yes. 3.4. McNeil. Henderson to the iron. No good.
Well, Messalonskee got the shot off. They couldn't ask for anything more. They got the ball up the court. Got a pretty good look. Ball hit the rim. The backboard bounced off. Outstanding game, Willie.
What?
Let's take a look now. The inbounds pass goes to Henderson on the right-hand side. He looks up the clock. You've seen the clock on the lower right-hand of the screen showing it ticking down. Henderson going to the basket, takes a good look at it, goes to the basket. The ball's in the air. It just rolls off. And with that, Brewer moves into the semifinals against Old Town. And I think Brewer really got to go out of here considering what happened they were really lucky that things happened to fall in line for what they did, because they really went cold for a long, long period of time.
I think either of these two coaches, as do any coaches after a ball game, will always look back and say, what could I have done that perhaps would have changed the outcome of the ball game? Right. But that's hindsight, not foresight, obviously.
Right. And it's too bad in this situation. Again, both teams played well, outstanding game. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. And again, Messalonskee came in here and really gave Brewer all they could handle.
Number 3 seed was Messalonskee. And not to be redundant, but Brewer is not a typical number 7 team. And you can see the two coaches there perhaps consoling each other to a degree, congratulating, on the other hand, Jim Kirchner of the Messalonskee Eagles and Mark Savage of the Brewer Wishits.
Well, Willie,
let's take a break and we'll return back to wrap this one up here at the auditorium.
What kind of people in Maine and New Hampshire drive Chevy trucks? Independent people who work hard for a living. People who know the value of a buck and demand the most truck for their money. People who depend on their Chevy dealer year after year for truck after truck.
23 years with the same Chevy dealer.
Tough Chevy trucks. Great Chevy people.
Our everyday low prices are less than other stores, guaranteed.
It's March Madness at Northern Mattress and Furniture.
Their fabulous quality selection is on sale.
Sit down and relax on this luxurious dual recliner sofa from Brookline, now only $4.99.
Beautify your home with elegant traditional style sofas like this one for only $419.95.
Plus,
free delivery,
free setup,
free removal of packaging,
excellent service,
honest certified sales professionals,
2 convenient showrooms,
plenty of free parking.
Only at Northern Mattress and Furniture.
This is not just another pretty face. This is not just another pretty truck. And this is not just another commercial. It's the chance of a lifetime to own a tough Chevy truck, the longest lasting, most dependable truck on the road. Nobody sells more Chevy trucks than Bean & Conquest, and Bean & Conquest has never had more Chevy trucks in stock.
I'll put you into a new truck for less than anyone else. I am that guy who dares to deal, you know, at Bean & Conquest Chevrolet for your new Chevy truck.
Education, it's our future. Visit your local school and get involved.
We're back here on the auditorium floor with the guy that made it happen in the last few moments, Jason Layton. We got the play racked up. Coming into the game, coming into this last play, you wanted the ball. You knew it was coming to you. Talk about what happened.
Well, Coach, I came in and told Coach I wanted the ball. So I came out and jumped my highest, and I guess he fouled me.
Here's the play right here. The foul, okay, then you go to the line. Calmly sinking 2, 80% free throw shooter's supposed to do that, I guess. And there's the ball game. Now I guess the other question is, what happened for about 10 minutes in the second half of this game with Brewers offense?
I think everybody came out a little tight. We had a lot of shots that didn't fall, and we got out of our game here a little, and that, you know, they got back, layups and turnovers. So.
Once again, another primetime game for this Brewer bunch. Congratulations, Jason Layton. A couple more, maybe 1 or 2 more to go, maybe 3 more to go. Mark Savage, you know, I don't know what's going on with this. What are you talking? You must be pulling whatever, something out of your head to try to get these guys going. What were you thinking about when every shot seemed to be coming up short?
Oh no. But they proved down the stretch, the last 4 or 5 games, they had something inside, you know, that they wouldn't quit. And I talked to Jay early in the game, and I pulled him aside and says, listen, you've got to play. You've got to step up and play. And he came to me the next to the last time out we called and says, I want the ball. It's my game. And when he wants it, he gets it.
Luckily, you were up 12 points when you hit that massive drought. 16-0 run. It's amazing that anybody can survive that. But Brewer, when they finally came out of it, played with, it looked like tenacity.
Well, our defense keys our whole game. It's a whole key to our game. And you notice when they stepped it up, it came from Troy Levitt. Troy Levitt's the man on this team, and he's the player. He's the guy that makes us go. And if you notice, he was the guy that got the steals and made the turnovers.
Messalonskee's new to this tournament. Talk about how they reacted after this contest.
Oh, I'm telling you, Tim, they are the classiest group of kids. They come up after the game, and we were shaking hands. They were giving me hugs and wishing me luck. They didn't know me from Adam. And I'll tell you, that's a classy group of kids.
Best of luck down the road, you guys. You don't make it look easy sometimes, but you always seem to come out on top in the big games. Well done. Jason Layton and Mark Savage of a Brewer will be back to wrap up the scoring in this contest. Big Brewer win, advancing to the semifinals. Back in a moment.
Wherever you go in Maine and New Hampshire, you're going to find Chevy people. Long-time Chevy owners who drive a car they can depend on, and new Chevy people who need a car they can afford. Right now, the deals on Chevy Cavalier and Chevy Lumina make it easy for you to afford one too.
Sure, I shopped around. My parents made me.
What this country needs is more Chevy people.
Long-standing Maine tradition, Boise Cascade managed forest lands are open to the public. Always have been, always will be.
I'm Don Lowry. You know, some accident victims never talk to a lawyer. They say to themselves, I don't have the money. I'll settle up with the insurance company on my own. But remember this, the insurance company doesn't work for you. It's their job to pay out as little as possible. At Lowry & Associates, we don't get paid until you get paid. We're here to protect the people of Maine, and we work for you.
Lowry & Associates help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 1-800-999-LEGAL.
54-52, Brewer coming away with this one, and one thing that we do know, the Brewer Witchers and the Old Town Indians will meet again Friday night. And my understanding is that the two meetings they've had, Old Town has won both of them, so that should be a good matchup. Let's take this opportunity now, Bob, and go through the individual scoring for this contest.
For Messalonskee, Willie, who certainly in their first Class A tournament appearance really made great accounts for themselves. Ed Pillsbury had 13 points. Chris McNeil had 2. Josh Henderson was just huge. He had 18. Eric Bushman had 8. And Corey King had 11. So let's go over now to Brewer. And certainly Brewer escaped. They really went dry for a long, long time. But the thing I liked about Brewer, they hung in. Their defense turned their things around. There was 2 steals. They got some layups. They got some foul shots. And they had the right man on the foul line at the right time. For Brewer, Freeman had 2. Troy Levitt had 12. Chris Corson had 2. Rob Parson had 2. Mike Johnson had 9. Buddy Chambers had 4, and leading the way was Jason Layton with 18. So again, an outstanding performance by both teams, an outstanding game. Brewer survived a drought. Messalonskee really made great accounts for themselves and had the winning shot, the tying shot rather, in the air at the end. And what more could we ask to end the evening? And really, we've had great games all day long.
That we have. And we come to the end of an 8-round day starting at 8 o'clock this morning. And as I look at the clock here in the auditorium, 10 minutes past 11. We'll leave with that to remind you viewers also that we'll be back Thursday evening for the girls' semifinal matchup and also Friday evening for the boys' semifinal matchup. And with that, we bid you good night.
The design experts at Hammond Lumber Company are ready to help you create your next kitchen. Whether you're building a new one or remodeling an old one, the Hammond people will turn your ideas and rough sketches into clear pictures and plans, and they'll show you Hammond's huge selection of wood cabinets with all the latest features available at factory direct prices. So when you're ready for your next kitchen, talk with the people at Hammond Lumber.
you're just rolling out of bed, do not look outside.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo offers an available V8 and full-time four-wheel drive.
On the way, buses are running behind.
Anti-lock disc brakes and dual airbags.
Getting through.
Plus a lease rate of just $369 a month with no money down.
It's a great day for snowmen.
Making the new Jeep Grand Cherokee greatly underappreciated by school kids everywhere.
See your New England Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Oprah, weekday afternoons at 4 on Channel 5.
Now, Jeffrey Hope. Jeff Matthews. Keith Erickson. Now live, this is Channel 5 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Williams sitting in